Hey, time for your life's math and history, and we are going to take a look at some measurements and conversions. So, we've been learning a lot about velocity and speed, but also learning about acceleration. But how are we going to measure all that stuff? Well, we usually have to measure it with a ruler, but sometimes you don't even have those kind of rulers. So, we like to use measurements that help us understand the weight of things, how long things have been, and how much time has passed. So that's why we learn about measurements and conversions. So what we're going to do is, we already understand like feet, yards, kilograms, grams, meters, but we're going to learn how to start converting from like, how do you mathematically convert from a kilometer to a mile, and vice versa. There are two systems when you talk about measurements. There's the metric system, the system where a lot of the countries use, as well as the imperial system. So the metric system uses like meters, grams, kilograms, something like that, micrograms. So here's what happens. To understand the metric system, there's an easy way we can convert from one thing to another. We have King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. So that is basically the acronym for saying kilo. This is hecto. This is deca. This is the base, like meters. This right here is deci. This is centi, like centimeters, and this is milli, like millimeters. So we understand like meters and kilograms, but here's what happens. If you start at the base right here, you'd have to do 1, 2, 3, but you would also have to jump 1, 2, 3. So there is a system where you can convert from one thing to another on the metric system. To get from B to D, like if you're going from meters to decimeters, you'd have to multiply by 10. From here to there, multiply that by 10 again, and multiply that by 10 again. If you wanted to go from the base to millimeters and convert that, you would have to do multiply by 1,000. Millimeters, 1,000 millimeters is going to equal to a meter. If you go to the left, for example, the numbers are going to get smaller because the object is getting bigger or heavier, or it's going to take a lot more time. So instead of multiplying, we divide by 10. Divide by 10 and divide by 10. So I'm pretty sure that we understand the metric system. The imperial system is used in countries like Myanmar and the United States of America, but we don't really have a system that looks like that. Sometimes you have like a system like 12 inches equals 1 foot. But also, we're going to say that 3 feet is going to equal to a yard, which kind of doesn't make a lot of sense because we have to memorize this instead of saying King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. So let's understand the whole conversion part, because that's like the main idea. We just kind of got you into an introduction. So let's say, for example, that if we ever wanted to convert 15 feet into yards, how much is that? Well, we can convert that by saying 3 feet is a yard. But assuming Yeah, 3 feet is a yard, but assuming we had no idea of what we're talking about, 15 feet equals a yard, sometimes when we do conversions with mathematics, it's going to get a lot more complicated. So here's what's going to happen. If we have 15 feet right here, we have to do a conversion of 3 feet is going to be equal to every some kind of 1 yard. So that is going to help us, and that's going to be our tool for helping us solve for this right here. How many yards is 15 feet equal to? We have to multiply by something that looks like that. If you put feet on the top, you need to put feet on the bottom so they'll be able to cancel out. So 3 feet is going to be the thing that cancels out 15 feet. So we're going to put 3 feet on the bottom. And we're going to put 1 yard on the top, since that's what we're trying to find. So if we do this times that, so if we cancel out the feet, 15 times 1 is 15. Divided by 3 is going to equal 5 yards.
Go! Finish!
Of yards. So that is an easy conversion when we go from one place to another place. But hang on, what happens if instead the imperial system uses miles per hour? On the metric systems, we use kilometers per hour. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make up another problem. So let's say we want to convert 10 miles to some kind of kilometer. What we have to do is put 10 miles right here, because that is what we're given. We have to multiply by some kind of conversion factor. So we can say 1 mile is going to equal to 1.609 kilometers. Therefore, if we're trying to find kilometers, here's what's going to happen. We put the mile on the bottom part of the fraction, the denominator. 1 mile. And we're going to put kilometers on the top, because that's what we're trying to find. Cancel that and cancel that out. 10 times 1.609 is going to equal, we are going to get 16.09 kilometers. So that is going from the imperial to the metric system. And that is the beginning and the introduction of measurements and conversions. I hope this video has helped you understand measurements and conversions. Thank you for watching Top Penalized Math Industry. Like and subscribe.